We all do it, probably dozens of times a day, right? You type something into Google and hit search. But what's really going on behind that simple search bar? Well, it's one of the most complex systems on the planet. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and trace that incredible journey from your keyboard to your results, using Google's own words as our guide.
I mean, it really does feel like magic. You ask a question and bam, the internet gives you an answer. But in that tiny fraction of a second, this unbelievably complex process kicks into gear. So let's demystify it.
Okay, first things first. Let's get one of the biggest myths out of the way right now. You absolutely cannot pay to get a better organic search ranking on Google. It's not for sale. As Google says themselves, the whole thing is programmatic and automated. This is probably the most important rule of the entire system.
So if you can't pay your way to the top, how does it all work? Well, Google breaks down this massive operation into 3 main stages. You can think of it like a journey that every single page on the web has to go on to even have a chance of showing up in your search. And as we're about to see, not every page makes it.
The easiest way to think about it is like building and running a colossal library. First, you need to find every book in the world. That's crawling. Then you need to read and catalog all those books so you know what they're about. That's indexing. And finally, when someone comes in and asks for something, you have to find the absolute best book for them. And that's serving. That's our roadmap for today.
All right, let's dive into stage 1, crawling. Before Google can even think about answering your question, it first has to know what's out there. It needs to discover all the pages that exist on the huge, ever-changing web. This is the great digital exploration.
And the hero of this part of the story is something called Googlebot. Now, this isn't some physical robot, but a massive fleet of automated programs. You might hear them called spiders or crawlers that are constantly scouring the web 24/7, just looking for new and updated pages.
So, how does Googlebot find its way around this massive web? Well, mostly it just follows links. It starts with a list of pages it already knows and then follows the links on those pages to discover new ones. Website owners can also help it out by giving it a map called a sitemap, which points it to all the important pages on their site. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Just because Googlebot knows a page exists, it doesn't automatically mean it's going to visit or crawl it. It might see the path, but that doesn't guarantee it'll walk down it. So why would it just skip a page?
Well, a few things could be going on. Maybe the website's server is down or just too slow. But a lot of the time, it's actually on purpose. Website owners can leave a little file called robots.txt on their site, which is basically a set of instructions, like a do not enter sign, telling Googlebot which areas are off limits.
Okay, so let's say a page gets discovered and successfully crawled. Now it moves on to stage 2, indexing. This is where Google really starts to do its homework. It has the book now, and its job is to act like the world's most efficient librarian and figure out what it all means.
See, it's not enough to just have a copy of the page. Google has to make sense of it. It analyzes all the texts, the images, even the videos to understand exactly what that page is about. Then it stores all of that processed information into a gigantic database called the Google Index.
A really important part of this is dealing with duplicates. The web is filled with pages that are basically the same. Think about an online store where the same t-shirt has a different URL for every color. Google is smart enough to group all those together and pick just one, the canonical page, as the official version for its index.
And hey, sound familiar? Just like with crawling, making it this far doesn't mean you're home free. Just because a page gets crawled doesn't guarantee it a spot in the index. It has to pass yet another round of checks.
So, why would a page get rejected here? Well, maybe the content is just really low quality. Or sometimes a website is designed in a way that makes it super confusing for Google to understand. And, just like before, the website owner can step in and add a no index tag, which is basically a note that says, hey Google, you can read this, but please don't put it in the public library.
And that brings us to the grand finale, stage 3, serving. This is the part we all see and interact with every day. The library is built, the books are all on the shelves and cataloged. Now, you walk up to the disk, you ask a question, and Google has to instantly search its trillions of items to find the perfect answer for you.
And remember that rule from the beginning? It's key here. The order of the results you see is decided programmatically. There aren't rooms full of people deciding which link should be number 1. It's all done by incredibly complex algorithms.
And we're not talking about just a few simple factors. These ranking algorithms weigh literally hundreds of different signals to figure out what's most relevant.
Things like the words on the page, sure, but also things like the reputation of the website, how fast the page loads, whether it works well on your phone. The list goes on and on.
What's really wild is how much your specific context changes things. If you're in Paris and you search for football, you're going to get very different results than if you search for football in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Google uses signals like your location, language, and even what device you're on to give you results that are actually useful to you.
And the type of search you do changes the type of results you get. Think about it. If you search for bicycle repair shops, you probably want a map with local listings. But if you search for a modern bicycle, you're probably looking for ideas, so Google shows you a big grid of images. The system is trying to figure out your intent. Okay, here it is, the final, and maybe the most surprising twist in this whole process. A page can be successfully crawled and perfectly indexed and still not show up when you search. So what gives? What's the final gate it has to pass through?
In the end, it really all comes down to relevance and quality for your specific search. If a page just isn't a great match for what you asked, or if there are other pages out there that are way better, it simply won't make the cut. Because a search result has to be the right answer for the right person at the right time.
So, there you have it. That thing you do without even thinking about it is powered by this massive, constant, 3-stage automated system humming along behind the scenes.
So let's just recap it one more time. First, Google is constantly crawling the web to find pages. Second, it's indexing those pages to understand and organize them. And finally, it's serving you the most relevant, highest quality pages from that index based on hundreds of factors unique to your search.
It's not just an empty box anymore, is it? It's the front door to this incredible automated library, one that's built, organized, and searched for you in the blink of an eye. So the only question left is, what are you going to ask